guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Takia Comey, your South Florida realtor and relocation specialist, better known as She Sells Miami. So today I am going to be covering a very important topic that a lot of you want to know before purchasing your home. But before we get into it, if you are new to my channel, just make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell so you can see any videos that I post. You'll be the first one to know about it. So the number one topic of discussion, whenever I get a phone call or whenever someone is interested in purchasing a property, before they even start, when I get the phone calls and they're like,
I don't know where to start. I don't know how much money I need.
So I thought this would be a great topic to start the week off for those of you who are looking to purchase a home. So there are many different factors that can determine how much money that you will need. Number one will be dependent on what type of loan you're using. If you're utilizing FHA, you only need 3.5% of the purchase price. If you're using conventional, you can purchase a home using a conventional loan with 3%. However, you will need a high credit score, of course. But usually conventional starts at 5% of the purchase price, and it can go all the way up to 25% of the purchase price. Now, if you're using a VA loan, shout out to all the VAs out there. Thank you for your service. You don't have to do a down payment. So that's awesome for the VAs. They don't have a down payment. Depending on the type of loan that you use, number one, that will determine the factor of how much money you'll need. If you use the FHA, you only need to put down 3.5%. So let's run some numbers here. If we were to do the math and you were purchasing a $400,000 home using FHA with 3.5%, then you would need $14,000 for your down payment. If we were to look at the closing costs, because that is also something that a lot of people don't realize, that you have to come with not just your down payment, but also your closing costs, and all of this is tied together. We'll take the $400,000 of the purchase price. It's usually around 4 to 5% of the purchase price, but I always go with 5% just to give me that higher number, just in case. So if we multiply the $400,000 by 5%, that'll give us $20,000. And if we add that together, that means that you need $34,000 to come to the closing table when purchasing your home. Now, for some of you, you may be like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. How am I gonna get that money for free? How is this gonna happen? So there are many ways that you can get money to purchase your home. Number one will be down payment assistance, of course. For example, right now in the state of Florida, we have the Hometown Heroes program. This program has been brought back for the third time. They have funded over $100 million starting July 1st. Right now, I believe I'm recording this video around July 8th, and they're around 70 million right now left in funds. So this money is going out very quickly. Because this is one of the greatest programs that we have right now in terms of down payment assistance, there are some requirements that you need. You need a 640 credit score. You have to be a resident of Florida. You have to be a full-time worker or working 35 hours or more, and this has to be your primary residence. So it's pretty simple, right? But the thing about this program and a lot of these down payment assistance programs, some of them are not forgiven. So with this program, you will have to pay it back if you decide to sell your home, refinance, or rent it out. Now, once this program runs out of money, there are other options. There are many other options, believe it or not, besides this one. So with the Hometown Heroes, you'll get up to $35,000 to go towards your down payment or closing costs. And this is also perfect for a VA person who's using that loan, because they already don't have to do a down payment, but now using the Hometown Heroes, they may even not have to do the closing costs as well. So this is the perfect opportunity. Any VAs out there looking to purchase a home, call me. One way that you can get, and roughly if you're in the $300,000, $400,000 range, you're going to get about $15,000 of that money. So boom, you already covered your down payment. Now, outside of the Hometown Heroes, there's another one called the Florida Bond. They are only giving about $10,000, but it's still something. But when coming with these down payment assistance programs, I would say try to at least have your credit score at a 640. I know with FHA, you can purchase a home with a 580, but a lot of these do come with requirements of the credit score. So I will say try to aim for a 650 or higher. Outside of the Florida bond, a lot of these counties in Dade and Broward County, they do have down payment assistance, and they do range based off the city. Some cities may run out of funds, some cities may not have funds. With these county programs, a lot of people don't like to really work with them because of the time frame that it takes to close them out. Instead of a 30-day closing, you're probably looking at more of a 60-day closing because of the funding and how long it takes to do everything. So that kind of funding will take a lot longer. Now, with the down payment assistance that we do have, that our preferred lenders are offering, like at one point they had a 0 down payment if you were using FHA, or a 0 down payment if you were using conventional. But keep in mind, with some of these programs, you will have a higher interest rate. So right now the interest rates are about 7 to 7.5%. With those programs, you may get a higher interest rate than the normal rate that it's going for now. So keep that in mind. Now, outside of the down payment assistance of the loans, they do have grants. I have not come across any. If you are interested in finding a grant, that's something that you will probably have to research on your own, unless it's something that they are offering for like first-time home buyers and something like that. But normally with the grants, you have to dig deep and try to find those opportunities, but I'm sure they're out there. I know there's some that have like minority grants that they give, single mother grants, probably even father grants. So just looking for that specific grant, you'll have to do a little bit more research. Now, outside of, if you do get the down payment assistance, let's say if you were to get the Hometown Heroes, now you're like, okay, well, you just told me I needed $20,000 for my closing costs. How am I going to get that $20,000 if I have nothing at all? So if you do use the down payment assistance to cover your down payment, now we need the closing costs. As far as your closing costs, you can always do a gift. I know people don't like to ask other people for things, but if you know a family member, a mom, dad, brother, sister, significant other, and they do have the money in their account, not under the mattress or in a briefcase, because they don't like banks. If you do know someone who does have the option to gift you the funds, that is also another option that you can use. But keep in mind, like I said, the money needs to be in their account also, so that they can show how they got it, or that it's accounted for the way that they got it. That's one option. Now, depending on what type of market it is, if it's a buyer's market or if it's a seller's market, and also depending on like if it's a motivated seller, meaning that this person is really anxious to sell their home because they probably need to move to South Carolina, or they just really need to get rid of this house because it's in a probate, or they don't want to go into foreclosure. If it's well, in those cases, I don't think they'll be able to help. But if it's a very motivated seller, most of the times you'll see that they're offering, okay, well, the seller will give $5,000 towards your closing costs, or $10,000 towards your closing costs. So those options are there, depending on how long the home has been sitting on the market. If it's something that's been over like 100 days, then you probably have a motivated seller where your realtor, if you have a savvy realtor, they can go ahead and ask for a seller's concession. Seller concessions can also come from if they need to do any repairs on a home that the seller is not willing to fix before closing. They're willing to give you those funds for you to fix it. But remember, yeah, you're getting that money at the closing, but now you need to also use it for a repair. So it's kind of like you're not really getting it to close, because then eventually you're going to have to get some money to make the repair. So seller's concessions are always great for you to get money to go towards your closing costs. I've also seen that Chase Bank, they do have some kind of incentive where they're giving $5,000 to go towards your closing costs. Now, when it comes to banks, when using a bank lender, I'm not against it, but keep in mind that the communication is not as strong as if you were using a realtor who has their preferred lender, but you can utilize banks. A lot of banks do have programs for you. I know, like, I had a client the other day, she said that she has a credit union and they have some kind of home advantage program. But I would ask, before you do your pre-approval, I would ask them exactly what are they offering when it comes to any type of assistance. Because remember, once you get pre-approved with them, they're going to check your credit, your score is going to drop. So anytime you do a pre-approval, they are going to check your credit. So keep that in mind. So I wouldn't go over here and then try to go to John, the lender, because you didn't like the bank numbers. Even though it shows that you're shopping for a home, I know some people get upset when their numbers are being ran. So just think wisely, ask all the questions that you need up front to know, okay, well, hey, what is it that you have to offer? And I know also a lot of bank programs, they do have income restrictions, and then I know sometimes they don't work with any outside programs. So if you were trying to use Bank of America, but then you wanted to use Hometown Heroes, that lender may not be able to access Hometown Heroes because they're not a certified lender for that program. So keep that in mind. You can use your banks to see whatever programs that they have that they're offering assistance. So that's another good option. Now, another option that you can use, however, you will have to use their lender, is if you are purchasing new construction. New construction is also an awesome way for you to get a lot of incentives and also closing costs. Because remember, if it's something that is not selling as quickly as they thought that it would, they are now offering incentives every single holiday because they want to get those homes sold. So new construction, there are options where you could do zero closing costs, which is great. However, you will have to use their lender. So I don't know if their lender will allow you to use Hometown Heroes. So it's kind of like you're going to have to pay one or the other. You're either going to have to pay the down payment or you're going to have to pay the closing costs. So it's just, you got to pick your poison. Another thing that I would highly recommend that I like to tell some of my clients, especially at the end or the very beginning of the year, is that if you haven't done your taxes yet, maybe put away that money instead of using it, because then that could be a large lump sum that you can utilize when it comes to making your home purchase. Or if you say, okay, I'm gonna probably wait until next year or the year after, maybe save 2 years of your tax return, so that can also help you when it comes to saving. Also remember, if you do have a 401k, you can always pull from your 401k. I do not know all of the laws and rules and regulations when it comes to that, but that is an option that you can use when it comes to purchasing your home. Other than that, I would say try to have something. There are a lot of programs out there that you can utilize, but it's probably better if you do have some type of money saved instead of zero money saved, because when you're going through the process, it's kind of like Russian roulette if you have nothing at all. It's like you're banking and praying to God that please make me find a way to get some money. I say this to say that there are ways, and then let's say if you do have the money saved and you are able to get your down payment or your closing costs covered, that's awesome, because now if you need to make any renovations or if you need to buy any furniture or any repairs that need to be made, now you have the money to go towards that, or you can also save it. But I will say this, when you're considering purchasing a home, try to have something saved. I typically normally say anywhere between 25 to 30,000. Yes, there are options where you can utilize to get the money, but sometimes that's not always, an option, or it's not always going to happen, because you never know what houses are on the market or who's offering those concessions or who's willing to, go the extra mile. So yes, there are ways for you to get money to purchase a home, but I will say still try to have your own little cushion ready on the side, because I guarantee you when you call any realtor or a lender, they're going to ask you how much money you have saved, because it's very crucial. Even though you have 30 days while you're under contract, when you're in the process of purchasing a home, you found a home, you did the search, now you're under contract, you have 30 days until you close. However, right after you go under contract, you have 24 to 48 hours to put whatever escrow amount that your realtor put on the contract, whether it be $5,000 or $10,000. You do have to have that money up front ready to go. There are options out there. There are alternatives out there. I would say just save your money and know how much you want to spend monthly up front, because that is one of the most important factors that would determine, okay, well, yeah, you got proof of $500,000, but as far as your budget, you probably can only afford a $400,000 home. So those are some things that you want to consider before even talking to a realtor. For those of you who are like, I want to buy a house, but I don't know where to start. These are some of the main questions that I normally ask when I do talk to someone during a consultation. There may be some uncomfortable questions, especially if you're talking to someone for the first time that you don't know and you have to give this information. You're like, why are you being so nosy in my business? But The top 4 questions that I do ask when I'm doing a consultation that's a complimentary consultation, I will ask, hey, what's your estimated credit score? So that's always good to know for your sake. Also, how much money do you have saved? What's the estimate? How much money do you want to spend monthly when it comes to your mortgage? And then also, do you have do you have a co-signer or somebody who's willing to help you if you need an extra boost when it comes to getting pre-approved? So those are the important factors. So just keep in mind, those are some of the main factor questions that a realtor or a lender is going to ask you before you even start the process. I hope this video was helpful. I feel like I'm missing some key points, but if I am, I will come back and let you guys know. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment below. I do answer all of my comments, and you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Peace.